Hey everybody, welcome to the latest video demonstrating the wonderful Elementor page builder in WordPress. And this isn't a tutorial, this is what I like to call a widget inspiration, where I'm going to focus on a single widget. And to start off what may be a series, we're going to talk about sliders. So this is just going to showcase some simple ways of bringing sliders and using them for different elements, such as this simple ticker testimonial slider. It's a simple image and text template that's been pasted into the slider using shortcodes. Very nice. We move on to the useful tips box, which is just a standard slider with no background image, occupies a little bit of space but offers some useful guidance to the visitor. Next one is the old one but good one, the Ken Burns zoom effect. That's just going to flip between three images, a nice little gallery. Okay, and now we bring that up a notch and move the same effect into a full width background, and we use some negative margin or absolute positioning overlays on another section to create a very nice subtle effect. And it's great because we have moving imagery throughout the overhead of video. The next one, I told a little lie, but hey, you'll forgive me, this is not a slider, it's a carousel, and we just have a small thumbnail carousel supporting our main services or product image. Again, a very simple subtle effect. Now, rank and file, like the testimonial slider, we've got a nested template. So this one is actually a blog post widget that's been pasted into the slides, and it's a great way of giving the user an easy navigable system to find all of those documents that are normally buried in the footer. And then we've got breaking the rules, where we strip everything out but the headline, we increase the animation speed, and we use it to bounce out this sort of attention grabbing headline. This will do my head in after a while, so I don't recommend you use it too often, and don't put any H1 or H2s that you want to be indexed within these, because they won't be. And now everything we've seen so far can be done with the Elementor builder without any code whatsoever. Whereas now we move on to the real big stuff and the final ones on the list, which is where we add some CSS love. And now these are quite popular effects. I mean, we have the zoom box. Okay, so again, this is used in all of the elements we get. We get the content, we get the title, we get the button, we get a background image, we get an overlay, we get a transition, all things that we can exploit using a little bit of CSS. Taking it up a notch or two, where we move moving backgrounds, add a pseudo element, we create this nice castaway sliding effect. Okay, similar mechanism is the blinds method, where we now just bring the content in from a different direction and we maintain the standard overlay. And last but definitely not least, and my favorite of the bunch, is focus. Okay, so blur zoom effect, where we move focus from one bit of content to another. I absolutely love this. Now, the great part of all of this is the fact that once the CSS is applied and you've got those CSS classes, you can apply them to any element. And then all you're adding the titles or the content or the background images, can all be done through the Elementor editor. No additional code. So that's what makes these really great, and why the slider tool, used in this way, is a very effective way of adding new content and creating new types of widgets. So if you're inspired by any of this, or you'd like to understand how some of this is done, particularly the CSS hacks, drop us some comments and I may get around to dropping a few videos on how to do this. So just to finish off, you may ask what's behind the big grey bar in the middle of the screen. Again, simple CSS border hack. Hey, doesn't everyone love cookies? So that's all from me. Hope you enjoyed.